Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. Today I'm going to be potting up my dwarf Romeo sour cherry tree, doing root work and getting it into bonsai soil. I bought this tree from Canadian Tire last year and it was too late in the year to repot it, so it's just been sitting in this nursery pot all summer and winter, and today I can finally work on the root system. So I'll take the name tag away, loosen it up. All right, here I go. I'll see if it comes out of the pot. So I'll tilt it on its side like this. And there it comes. Like that. So you can see the roots haven't become active this year yet. There's no white growing tips on any of the roots, so that's good. If you see growth on the roots, that means you're probably too late to repot it for that season. So it looks like a good layer of moss up here. I'm going to peel that off. I think it's moss and liverwort. You can see the roots of the liverwort, how deep they go. So you can see a lot of the root system now. Looks very interesting. Okay, I'm going to check all this moss and liverwort outside. I don't want it in the greenhouse here. There's a close-up of the root system, so you can see all the fine roots coming out. Quite nice. So I don't know if this tree will remain on the slant like this. It all depends on what surface roots they are. So I'm going to start combing out the root system now. Got my root rake, so here I go. You can see the buds are just turning green on it, so it's about to break out into leaf soon. That's because it's in the greenhouse here. If it was outside on the bench, those buds would still be tightly closed because winter is not over yet. I'll be replacing all this nursery soil with bonsai soil. That should really help the root system grow nicely. So I'll be raking out all the soil I can and then washing the roots to get them nice and clean. And then the bonsai soil will go around the root system. Yeah, it's quite amazing that it was in that great big pot and it didn't really have a great big root system. I saw a V formation of swans flying overhead this morning. There had to be about at least 25 swans in the group, the formation. It was quite impressive. Beautiful white birds against the blue sky. Yeah, it's a sight you don't see too often, but I see it every, I guess every year here. You see swans flying overhead. They kind of make a unique noise that fairly easy to identify. Okay, I think I'm ready to start washing the roots. Okay, let's take it over to the bucket. All right, here I go, washing the root system. Okay, a little more washing here. Okay, that looks pretty good. I think I can see everything. Here's the root system on the cherry tree. Looking quite nice. So let's start the root pruning. All the roots are coming out from pretty well one plane. Now, I could improve it. I noticed here I've got one root above the other, so if I wanted to use the lower root, I could, and I think I will because my root plane is down here. This one's a little high, so I'm going to take that one off. Like that. This one's a little high here. Take that one off too. And here again, I have a double root. This one's higher. I'm going to remove that one. Like that. That gets all my roots kind of coming out from the trunk at about the same level. Reasonably anyway. Now this one, you can see I like all the roots flowing down into the soil. This one kind of goes 90 degrees, so I'm going to take that one off. Like that. Now a lot of these root systems, like this is nice. It flows down and goes more horizontal. These ones kind of go too deeply into the soil. So I should prune those back to get a flatter root system. So I'm going to go, on this one I'm going to take it right back to this root here, because that's a nice looking root. Like that. This one I can take it off here. There's some horizontal roots coming off of it. This one too. Taking those roots that are going too deep down into the soil off. So I'll reduce back. Here's a root here that kind of, again, there's a double root. There's one on top and one below. I think I want to keep that one on top. It's a nice flowing root. The one below kind of crosses it and does something funny, so I'm going to take that one out. I'll shorten it to there. Like that. Now there's a root that goes straight down, sort of like a taproot in here. You can see this is it right here. So I'm going to reach in and take that off, right off. Like that. So there was a taproot. So now it's a little cleaner underneath. There's one here that's going quite deep. I'll prune the bottom part off that. This one could be pruned back to here. This one to there. All these ones, they go quite deep down, so I want to prune them off shorter. Like that. All the ones, there's one growing underneath here. I'm going to get rid of that one entirely. That one off. Another one that's kind of going down, get rid of that one. This one's too deep. This one could be pruned off here, there. It's got to be taken off there. Okay, getting right down there. Just cleaning out some of this old soil in here. I'll rewash the roots too. Make sure all this old potting soil is out of there. You don't want to mix a potting soil and bonsai soil because they dry out at different rates. So if you're watering the plant to keep your bonsai soil moist, your potting soil will stay too wet. So you want to clean it out so there's just one type of soil in your pot, and then you can water to keep the soil nicely hydrated. Okay, I'm going to wash that up. And I think that's good. I think that's the start of a good radial root system. I think this is a good sized pot for the tree. It's got a bit of a dent in it here. It's just a plastic pot, but I think that's a good size for the tree. So let's get it planted. I'll add my screen to the bottom of the pot first. All right, so I'll cut my screen to fit the bottom of the pot. There's a lot of drainage holes in this bottom. That'll do it right there. So you can see that it fits the bottom. So when I put it in here, all my drainage holes are covered and the soil won't fall out the bottom. I'll get the pot full of soil. So I want to fill it about 3/4 of the way up. About there is good. Then I'll place the tree in the pot, and I think it'll be more upright. Doesn't really have much of a slant, maybe a bit like that. And I'll make sure my roots are all nice and straightened out, combed out before I add the soil. That's all looking good. So I can add a bit of soil in. Use my new soil scoop. Lift the tree up a bit, add a bit more. And then I'll work the soil into the roots. Again, there's not a whole lot of roots, so I don't have to worry about it too much because I took the roots quite far back. Okay, and then I can fill it up with soil now up to the base of the tree. I think that's good. Tamp it down. And that is my cherry tree planted. So I'll give it a water now. All right, here I go with the water. Give it a nice thorough watering. Okay, that's good. I'll rotate the cherry tree around so you can see it from all angles. So here I go. Quite a severe reduction of the root system on the cherry tree. I'm not sure how the cherry tree will react to this severe root pruning. This is my very first cherry tree bonsai, so I'm not sure what'll happen. I hope it does well. I hope those roots send out more roots and it recovers nicely and grows nicely for the summer. We'll find out soon enough. That's all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.